Okay, to make the missile launcher, the surface-to-air missile launcher pencil holder, you can use this little plan I made up. It's got the two patterns for the missile launchers themselves, and the base, and the little braces that go in between. Now you can download this plan for free. Just click on the link down below. You can download it to your computer, print it out, and you're all ready to go. I want to just go over a preliminary introduction to what this is all about. Now here's the actual project as I did it. I made it out of birch plywood. You, of course, could make it out of a better wood if you prefer to do so. And I only put the lettering on one side because sometimes if you look through with other lettering on the other side, it causes confusion. You might decide not to use the lettering at all. That's up to you. You might also want to paint this too. It might look nice in a nice silver color with maybe a red or a blue fins here for the missile. If you're going to give this to a kid for a desktop decoration, pencil holder, it might be a good idea to do that. I left mine plain. It looks pretty good just the way it is. Now you have a base that you're going to need to make, and the base is just what it says. It's the base of the project. It's about 2 1/4 inches wide, and it's about 5 inches long. And you can adjust it so you got a little bit of space on the front or the back, or you can make it a little bit longer if you want and go right to the ends. I was happy with it just a little bit shorter. That's going to be glued at the bottom of the two missile launchers, and that'll hold it nicely in shape for you to put the braces in. Now the braces are nothing more than two little pieces of wood that are cut out with the notches in them so that your pencils can actually sit there with, in a particular order. And also on the back brace, you got the brace itself, but then you also got a backing for it too. So when you put your pencil in there, your pencil or your missile if you want to call it that, it doesn't fall off and go sliding backwards. It stays nicely in place. And you'll want to glue those in on either side. It's about 2 1/4 inches, which is about the same as you got for your base. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to cut out the pieces now and put it together so you can see how it's assembled, and the cutting process, which is done of course on a scroll saw. And you'll be all ready to launch your missiles the next time you have a homework assignment. Let's start by taking two pieces of birch ply, which I've cut to 6 inches by 4 inches, and we're going to tape them together. I've already started taping them here. I'm going to tape them together with painter's tape. This is painter's tape I picked up at the dollar store. It works pretty good. I'm doing small projects particularly. Alright, so these are nicely bound together. The reason we bound them together is we're going to take one of these patterns, and we'll use the one with the name on it, even though we probably won't put any name on this one. We'll leave this blank for the time being, just to save some time. But you cut the pattern out from the plan page. This page, by the way, with the plan on it is available in the link below this video. If you want to get it, download it for free. And we're going to put some glue on the back of this, some paste, and we'll glue this down to the blanks. And we'll be able to cut out the around the outer edge to take the size of the launcher, and we'll also be able to take these little brackets and put them together as well, all from the same pieces of wood. Okay, so let's first of all, I'm going to glue this down, and then we'll take it over to the scroll saw and cut them out. Over here at my gluing table right now, and we got the little pattern. I'm going to take some of this Staples jumbo glue stick, relatively inexpensive, and it works very nicely too. Just simply rub some of the glue on the back, as such. Okay, works out pretty good. And we take the blank that we made and pick this up off of the cardboard. Use some cardboard so it doesn't mess up my table. Just stick this down to the two blanks that have been connected together, and we are ready to start cutting. Great thing about this, of course, is we don't have to drill any entry holes because we're basically going to cut all around the pattern. If we were going to cut out the name, we'd have to drill entry holes for them. But as I said, I'm not going to put the name on this particular one. It'll save us a little bit of time. We'll also want to cut out these brackets that are going to fit between the two end pieces of the launcher. Okay, so let's go over to the scroll saw and get to work on this. We're at the scroll saw now. We're going to cut out this pattern, the pieces of the pattern. I'm going to first cut out the little brackets, and then we'll do the actual launcher sides. We'll have two sides for the launcher, and we'll have two brackets as we need them, and we'll have an extra blank piece, which I'll show you. We're going to be doing. Hand out of the way so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Sometimes it does slip though, and it covers it up. I'm also going to speed this up too to save you a little bit of watching time. You don't really need to watch everything I've got going here. I've got a number 5 reverse tooth blade in here, and I think we're just about ready to start cutting. Okay, we have two brackets now, one for the front and one for the back, nicely cut out. Now we're going to have a blank piece behind one of the brackets so that when you put the pencil eraser down there, it won't slide right through and the pencil will just drop right off. So that's what we're going to use this other piece for here. You don't necessarily have to make it out of this thick piece of wood, but that's what we have available for us. All right, cut out the right on to the back of one of these brackets so that when the pencil sits in there, it'll be hitting against that ridge and it won't fall out. Now, I've made these brackets to hold 3 pencils. If you want to modify the pattern, you're welcome to do so. You could make it into 5 pencil launcher if you'd like, or maybe a 1 or 2. It's up to you. Okay, now the next thing is the launcher itself. So what we'll do is we'll take this out of here first, and now we got to cut all the way around the launcher. Here we go. Okay, cut out both of the launcher parts now. This is one of the joys of doing stack cutting, of course. We now have our 2 pieces ready to put together after we clean them up a little bit. So let's go back to the bench and see what we can do with these. I took all the tape off of the pieces here, 2 sides of the launcher. And I took all the pieces over to the sander and sanded them all down so the edges are a little round and everything's been smoothed out nicely. I save you the time of viewing that, nothing really complicated in sanding. And I cut out the bottom piece, which is 2 1/4 by 5 inches. Now you can adjust this depending upon how long you actually want to make it. What we want to do now is start to glue this thing together. It's really very easy from here on out. We'll take some glue and take one of the braces here and put some glue on it. Don't need a lot. Just a little bit along the back side. And then take one of the blanks and just fasten it right on there like that. Okay. Just attaches right to the back. Take a couple of little clamps. I have these nice little clamps I can use. You can use any type of clamp you want, of course. And we'll just hold those together for a while and get it ready for actual assembly. I'm going to leave this here, put it aside for now. And now we're going to take this bottom panel and we're going to attach it to the actual launchers, putting them together like this. Okay. So what we want to do is take a little bit of glue and put along the edges here. Both edges need to be glued up. Same with this side. Put a little glue on here. Nothing complicated here. We're not going to deal in rocket science. No pun intended. Alright, what we'll do is attach this one to one side. And we'll leave a little bit of space toward the back, I think. As good as any possibility. And we'll take this one and we'll put it on the other side. Parallel to it as best you can. Take a couple of clamps. I'm using these quick grip clamps. And I'm going to put them down here. And press it against there. I'm going to do one in the back also. Make sure I got it lined up right. One out on the edge here. As long as I don't go over the edge. Tighten it down. Now we can take this one probably and tighten it up a little better as well. There. So we got them fastened on there nicely. Make sure the bottom is level. And we just put the two together like that. And we let that dry for a little while now. And then we're going to put in the actual braces for the pencils later on. I'll let that dry. They've all dried out, so I've taken them out of the clamps, the little clamps as well. So what we're going to do now is put these spacers, these brackets in here. We're going to lay the pencil on. Now this is the back one, of course, and this is the one that you want to have down in here so that it faces, the grooves face the front and the backer is toward the back. And what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of glue on the end pieces like this. Don't need a lot on there. And then I usually place it just about halfway down this the back wing, and at a slight angle so that it's facing up. And you can just spread these apart a little bit if you need to, or squeeze them in closer as the case may be. I'm going to drop that down right about there, and then turn it around at a slight angle so it's facing up, so that the missiles will look like they're about to be shot off. Try and space them the same on either side here. Usually do this with an eyeball. You don't really worry too much about having it perfect. That looks about good. And then take a clamp, a small clamp, you don't really need a big one, and just tighten it up a little bit around there. Bring that in as tight as we can without cracking the wood. You don't really want a really heavy clamp on here. Okay, this is down a little bit. I think we have to probably raise this up a little bit on this side. Just sort of adjust it with your eye here. There, that looks good. And then take the other one, which is the single grooved here. No backing needed on this. We'll put this up toward the front. Might have to tighten it up a little bit, put some glue on there. like this. Have the slight tilt to it, and get your clamp, put it on here, put it up toward the end, make sure it's sort of level with the one down below. Tighten up your clamp here. Alright, and we'll let that dry. And once it's all dried, we should be good to go here. Test it with a pencil, actually, see if it looks like it's lined up well. And it does seem to be. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, you know, you're building a little toy here, in a sense. And not really going to be firing missiles, fortunately. When that dries, you can paint it if you want, or you can leave it as is. Put your pencils in there, and you're all set to have a nice little pencil holder. Well, I hope you enjoyed working on this project. It's really very simple, and if you did enjoy the video, just click the little like down below there, and you might want to think about subscribing to the channel if you don't already, to be alerted when new videos come up and get a chance to see what other crazy ideas I come up with. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.